What's up guys? Welcome back to my channel. It's Mylan Moxie. If you want to know how I combine multiple sclerosis with roller skating, then keep on watching. Yes. Alright y'all, so welcome back to my channel. Today's video is going to be a little bit different. It's not going to solely be on roller skating. Today I'm going to tell you about being a roller skater with a chronic illness. So if you haven't followed my Instagram, you should go ahead and do that now at Mylan Moxie. But I am a skater with a chronic illness and I skate with multiple sclerosis. If you haven't already, go ahead and subscribe and hit that notification button so you don't miss any more of my videos that I post every 9 months. So if you don't know what multiple sclerosis is, basically it's a neurological disease that affects your brain and your spinal cord. Basically it means that you have a faulty immune system and your immune system is attacking itself. More so, it's attacking the myelin, which is the fatty protective covering of your nerves that keeps everything in check. It attacks your myelin and it leaves scars behind. Hence the name Mylan Moxie. So technically, multiple sclerosis means multiple scars. So basically skating with MS, I have mostly good days, some days I have bad days. On the bad days after a skate, I can come home with numbness and tingling in my feet and my legs and random parts of my body. Sometimes I do have dizzy spells, I do get extreme fatigue, tremors in my hands and my legs, and sometimes my balance just gets worse. Most times this is all caused by heat intolerance. I really do not do well in heat. So currently I'm in El Paso and the weather here gets up to 90 degrees. That's on a good day. It gets really hot here, but lately it's been about 82, 86 degrees. If I skate in the heat of the day, those symptoms can happen in a matter of minutes. But some of the main symptoms of multiple sclerosis include brain fog, heat intolerance, confusion and memory problems, difficulty thinking and speaking and forming correct sentences, because sometimes I just forget the words I'm trying to say. Balance issues, and trouble walking, as well as muscle spasms and vision problems. There's also this funky thing called Lermite's sign. That's a fun one. So basically Lermite's sign is when you try to touch your chin to your chest like this, there's a weird vibrating electric shock sensation that runs down the back of my head, down my neck, down my spine. Sometimes I feel it all the way to my tailbone. And it's almost like I swallowed a cell phone and then somebody decided to text me and it's on vibrate. So it's a weird, shocking, vibrating sensation that happens for like a few seconds. And it's almost painful, but not really. It's just a very strange sensation. There are so many different types of multiple sclerosis, including relapsing and remitting, which is the most common. There's primary progressive, secondary progressive, and a form that's not often talked about is called tumefactive multiple sclerosis. That is the type of MS that I do have, and symptoms that are special to this one include seizures, problems forming speeches, bladder and bowel issues, and vertigo. Tumefactive multiple sclerosis is probably one of the hardest ones to diagnose, as it's characterized by lesions in the brain that are only seen, of course, through an MRI, but the lesions are about 2 centimeters or wider, and you might have one centralized lesion or you might have a few that are just large in size. So tumefactive actually means tumor-like. So on an MRI, if it were to fall into the wrong hands, it could be diagnosed as a brain tumor, especially because it mimics that as well. And if you weren't careful, a doctor could recommend a brain biopsy, which is totally not necessary for this type of MS. As far as my tumefactive MS goes, I don't experience too many symptoms, but I do experience brain fog, walking issues, balance issues, and my favorite, heat intolerance. So you're probably wondering, so then how do you skate with MS? Why do you skate with MS? Why are you telling me this? Well, my answer is not very simple, but I do try to take it easy. I do definitely try to listen to my body, and I try to stop skating when it's time to stop. I skate because it brings me joy, but also it strengthens muscles in my body. It definitely keeps me clear-headed, and for the most part, it keeps me active, which is definitely a good way to alleviate some of the symptoms that I do experience. I was diagnosed with MS in April of 2017, and honestly, when I got my diagnosis, I wasn't very surprised. I had always shown signs of MS since I was a young kid, but I didn't add two and two together because who wants to think that they have a chronic illness? But after I got my initial diagnosis, I wanted to do something with that energy. I wanted to make something out of it. So roller skating was the first hobby that I picked up after that. And I can't lie, at first it wasn't easy because, once again, I don't have balance. So teaching myself how to skate in the beginning was hilarious. However, once I got into the groove, it really changed my perspective of multiple sclerosis. Teaching myself how to skate while not having balance was a journey on its own, but it definitely helped me turn something negative into positive. So now that I roller skate and I am better at skating, I have learned what my body can and cannot do. Being a skater with MS has taught me patience in the sense that I'm not always in control. Sometimes my body is in control. So that means that if I need to take a break, it's time to take a break. And I have to let my body heal so that I can continue doing what I love. It's taught me discipline, attentiveness, definitely self-awareness, leadership, of course, and how to combine two polarized communities that I fit in. So far, I have inspired so many people with chronic illnesses to pick up a hobby that they love. You know, it's so much more fun to live in a body where you can laugh at yourself, where you can learn what your body can do and how to combat the issues that it has. One thing that's really stood out to me from both communities is how accepting and embracing that they are about somebody who's a little bit different than them. You know, I'm a skater, but I have a chronic illness, so the way that I live my life is a little bit different than most people who roller skate. And same goes for people with multiple sclerosis. So the MS community is inspired by the way that I live my life on skates. However, I do get questioned, how are you able to live like this? How are you able to combat your symptoms, X, Y, and Z? And truthfully, I don't have a lot of symptoms, but the ones that I do have, I just roll with the punches. I mean, there's not a whole lot that I can do. I have to, let it happen. And I take medication for it, of course, but if I'm out of commission for a couple of days or two, that's just how it's gonna be. I am currently giving myself medication to keep my MS at bay. I give myself self-injections 3 times a week. I'm taking Glatopa, which is the generic form of Copaxone, and it is a injection of glatiramer acetate that is injected into the skin 3 times a week, which mimics myelin fibers and controls the amount of relapses that you have. So my diagnosis story is actually pretty funny. Back in 2017, I was actually in a motor vehicle accident, right? And after I was treated, I go home, I'm living the rest of my life. And then I start having that Lermite sign that I was telling you about, the weird vibrating sensation. I started having that. And I thought that that was due to the accident that I was in. So I called the doctor that I was seeing and I had him check it out. He ordered an MRI, and the MRI came back with a long paragraph of all of these issues that were seen in my brain scan. It wasn't related to the car accident like I thought, so he recommended me to a neurologist nearby. So I went to go see the neurologist who wanted a second opinion. I got another MRI and it was confirmed that it was tumefactive multiple sclerosis, my favorite. My neurologist, the same neurologist that I'm still seeing, gave me a physical test, and so basically that it consists of, walking in a straight line, walking with one foot in front of the other, touching your nose, and, little things like that. And after reading my MRI, he realized that, the lesions that I had were golf ball size. I had what's called black holes, which is my favorite to explain. Basically is when a lesion is formed, but then it continues to get active and it creates deeper and deeper scars. So basically look at it this way. When you have a scab and it heals up and then you pick at it some more and then it bleeds and then it heals again and then you pick at it some more and it bleeds, that cycle is basically what causes black holes in the brain. So as far as my MRI has read, I have about 42 lesions currently, and my neurologist actually looked at me a little bit puzzled because he's like, how are you able to walk and talk and function the way that you are? Because according to your MRI, you should be experiencing this and this and that, but you're not. I mean, I didn't have any answers for him. I thought it was a miracle, honestly. And then, of course, he explained to me about the difference between tumefactive multiple sclerosis and the normal relapsing remitting multiple sclerosis. Apparently, tumefactive MS is the most aggressive form and it's the hardest to treat. Apparently it's, what's the word I'm looking for? Stubborn. Apparently it is stubborn. But he put me on a couple of medications to try to control the symptoms that I was having. I started on a steroid to completely stop any of the symptoms that I was having at that moment, which really, really, really helped. And then I tried a couple of pill medications that I were taken orally, and I failed those miserably. They did not agree with me at all. So then I sucked up my fear and I decided to try self-injections at home. And honestly, I was so scared to try that because who wants to give themselves a shot every few days, every week? That scared the living crap out of me. But I was out of options, so I decided to go with it. And you know what? It was the easiest thing for me. And you know what? The needle is like this big. I was scared for nothing. I've been taking Glatopa for the last 2.5 years, and actually that's the one that's been working for me the best thus far. My neurologist asked me if I am doing any type of activities or if I'm working out to stay active and stay healthy. I told him I roller skated, and he took a double take at me and was like, "What?" I said, "Yeah, I roller skate." And he says, "No." I said, "Yeah, I roller skate." And we had a great laugh about that because he himself has never heard of anybody with multiple sclerosis who roller skates. So tumefactive MS is actually quite rare. It affects 1 in every 1,000 people with MS. And currently there's about 500,000 people in the world who have MS. So that means there's about 500 people who have TMS. And what's even more rare is that if you have a parent who has MS, it's very, very rare for them to pass it on to you because it's not hereditary. But get this, my mom has MS and I have MS, and mine's actually worse than hers. My mom has relapsing remitting multiple sclerosis, and she's in pretty good shape, don't get me wrong. But she has bad days, and when she has bad days, they're bad. But I have tumefactive multiple sclerosis, which is the most aggressive, and I don't really experience too many things. So I said that to say, multiple sclerosis looks different on everyone. No two people have it the same. And if I were to sit down with another person who has MS, we could probably have 2 different experiences. Having MS for me has been quite interesting. One, because I'm not experiencing anything crazy at the moment. Of course, it's going to progress, but at this moment in time, I'm having a great time. But also, I meet so many people who ask me about what MS is, how do I experience it, where does it go, where will it take me? And I meet a lot of people with MS, and it's just fun to not compare symptoms, but to talk about what we experience personally, because again, not everybody experiences the same thing as me, and I don't experience everything that someone else does. Of course, I met some people on social media who see me roller skate and blog, and they're like, wow, you know, I wish I could skate too. I wish I had your type of MS. And honestly, you don't, because TMS is crazy. It's a mess, and there's no telling where I'm gonna be physically in the next 10, 15, or 20 years. I just love telling people that I have MS and I roller skate, you know, because those two things are contradictory, if you will. Those two things almost don't belong in the same sentence. But I skate for me, and it helps me, and I enjoy it. I love it so much. And I've met so many people, both with MS and with skating. And I've inspired so many people to pick up a pair of roller skates of their own. Even though in the beginning it was kind of hard to teach myself how to skate because I don't have balance, honestly, I'm better on skates than I am on my own 2 feet. But I kept with it because it's nice to have an outlet to expel some of that inner emotion and that energy into something positive. And also, I think it's just really fun to laugh at yourself every now and then. I don't have balance, so I fall on my skates all the time. And you know what? Honestly, I love it. Like, I wouldn't have it any other way. And skating has definitely brought a lot of people into my life that have taught me things about myself, have taught me things about my body and what I can do, and I just really, really appreciate being a part of both communities. I think one thing that's really made this entire experience worthwhile is that I have a very supportive team behind me. My partner, my dad, my friends, they're all so supportive, and they always try to learn about the type of MS that I have. They try to learn about what's going on and how they can help, and honestly, having that in your corner is strong, and it is so important, and it means something. Now, of course, with skating, I do what I can. You know, I don't really worry about learning too many tricks because I don't want to hurt myself further than I already am. But I skate to have fun, not to be the best skater, you know? I hope this gives you a little bit more information about MS, about how I am with being a skater and having multiple sclerosis, and giving you a sneak peek about how my life is doing both. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video as much as I enjoyed making it. If you like this video, go ahead and give me a thumbs up, and I will see you in the next video.